Hi, welcome to the Olly YouTube channel. Today I am geeking. My car is about to start for the first time in like at least a month. It's been like a month and a half. And everything is coming together beautifully. Right here is the turbo. It now has a Rotomaster center housing, and I have refinished the other housings. I've meticulously cleaned my entire engine of turbo shrapnel that occurred a month ago when I blew the crap out of my compressor wheel. After all this meticulous cleaning, and today the intercooler cleaning and all of these things, I've also been experimenting with the turbo because the reason it really blew was the fact that my VNT mechanism wasn't working. So right now, I threw away my original plan, which was the OEM Sprinter van servo, and instead I have this linear actuator that is working beautifully and is so much simpler to work with. So I'm going to start by showing you guys this. Then I got to strap this on the car, connect a few hoses, maybe fill some coolant, and then bleed some fuel lines. It's time to start today. Okay, just to show you guys what I'm working with, I'm going to go ahead and install this thing on the car. This still isn't hooked up to an Arduino or anything, so when I start the car today, we're still going to be using static vane position. But I want to show you where I'm at with this development, and we're coming along quite swimmingly now. Right now, it's about partially open, and I'm going to go ahead and open it all the way. Check this out. Okay, that's fully closed. Excuse me, not fully open. Now to fully close it. Isn't that freaking sweet? Check that out. Not too shabby. So, we have an actuating mechanism. Over here, we got the Arduino too, right here, this guy, and I'm gonna work, once I get a pressure sensor in and some other things, we're gonna be able to hook up a pressure input from the intake and then have this control the solenoid based on intake manifold pressure. Oh, I'm so excited. Really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on and button some shit up, and then it'll be time to try to start the car for the very first time with the quick engine cleaning, rebuild, inspection, and 11mm fuel pump head. I still have a few more things to do before this is really like drivable. I need to add 2 new boost gauges, one which is going to measure turbo exhaust back pressure, and one which is going to measure boost pressure, and I need a few more hose clamps and knickknacks like that. So there's no reason for me to go holding up initial startup for intake piping installation right now. I just need to get the injection hoses on, bleed the injectors, and put some coolant in this thing. Not even the coolant. We can get it to start without the coolant, and then we can put coolant in it, but here we go. Alright, I got my fuel lines connected to the pump. Everything's timed. And I have my fuel lines loose on the injector side of things. I have some coolant, decent amount of coolant in the engine, enough that it can idle and be fine. So it's that magical time to start cranking away. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in there and start cranking. When these get wet, I'll close them. And then, I'm too excited. It's probably going to start. Okay. It's also worth noting that I need to build oil pressure for the turbo before this thing actually starts, but I imagine we'll get there just cranking. Usually getting fuel all the way through this takes a second. I should really be stepping on the gas pedal too, doing this in order to speed up the process a little bit. Okay, looks like we almost have enough fuel. We still don't have oil pressure though. Alright, all the injectors are definitely there. I'm going to go ahead and close these, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this ignition wire off, the pump solenoid wire, because I don't want the engine to start yet. I really want there to be like 5 to 10 psi oil pressure in the system before I start it. Battery status box. After a whole lot of cranking, I still don't have the oil system primed, which isn't what I want. And my battery is about dead, and my battery charger appears to be overheating, so it seems like I'm gonna have to let it charge. Suck! I wanted to do it right now. Okay, it is now later. While I was gone, I continued to think about how I was trying to do this, and when I was younger, dramatic effect ruined, I didn't have one of these, but now I do, and this is exactly what you need to prime your oil system without cranking your motor a shitload. So, I just took a quick look, pretty sure it's a 19 mil. I can put this right on my auxiliary shaft bolt. It kind of looks like the V-belt down there is in the way, so I might have to loosen up my alternator first. And I kind of doubt it's going to spin with how tight the timing belt is right now, so I'm probably going to have to loosen my timing belt. But I'm going to blitz through those things, and then we'll get the oil system primed, and then we'll try to start this engine. Woo! Found it's easiest to go from the bottom. Probably could go from the top if I didn't have this auxiliary fuel pump, but I do. And here we go. But quick check if we made oil pressure. Oh baby, we got oil pressure. We're ready. We got oil pressure. 20 psi. Highly recommend, if you have this tool, prime your pump just like this. There's no drawbacks, only plus sides. All you gotta do is loosen your timing belt a little bit. And it doesn't even throw off your timing. Check that out. Back to what I was trying to do like 5 hours ago. Let's get this car idling in this garage now. My car battery is still kind of on the dead side of things because my battery charger didn't really look like it worked when I was gone. But at least now all we have to try to do is start it, give it fuel the whole bit. None of that just cranking business. What could possibly be the problem? Guess I could try bleeding my injectors again. Maybe turn up the pump some more. Does look like we're getting fuel out. Doesn't look like it's really enough to make it run though. I am perplexed. But we're getting white smoke, so this should work. Not actually sure at all what the problem is here. Feel like continuing to try is kind of futile, but I can't identify what's wrong. job was so bad that it doesn't have compression, but that doesn't seem to make sense. Hold please. Okay, it would appear that when I was taking this pump apart, it is almost certainly 180 degrees off. The cam plate can go in one way or the other way, and there's nothing to locate it. And when I took it apart, it kind of fell out, and I put it back in as best I could tell it should go. But it seems to me everything else in this engine should be working just fine. Maybe I can turn the ignition on and crack an injector line and see when it pulses. Okay. Seems like it's working just fine. So what the heck?